So recently, Crypto.com has made some changes within their card program that has made a ton of investors upset and disappointed, even including myself. But in today's video, I do want to go over some details and reasons why I'm going to continue holding onto the card, give you some perspective, and help you decide whether you want to continue holding onto the card or whether you should get one by the end of this video. So if that sounds interesting, definitely stick around. Now, I've been talking about Crypto.com on my channel for about a year and a half. In fact, most of you probably have discovered cryptocurrency or Crypto.com through one of my videos. Some of you have benefited from it and some of you may have lost from it, especially during the recent changes of the rates. A lot of investors got upset, including myself, because it kind of came out of nowhere and I just upgraded to my IC White, and then the value of that just completely got cut down in half. And Crypto.com is a partner of this channel. They've been extremely supportive. It's been really nice working with them, but that doesn't limit me from just creating positive content about Crypto.com. I can also talk about the negative as well, because ultimately this channel is meant to be educational, so I'm always going to be honest and open. I'm not going to be biased towards one side. So I really had to reflect on these changes for the past couple of weeks before I formed my own opinion, because a ton of creators and a ton of people were just talking and bashing on Crypto.com, just negative content one after another. But I think, it's not all that bad in my personal opinion. But again, this is because I've reflected on it for a couple of weeks. Now, before I continue on with this video, if you have any questions regarding Crypto.com, leave it down in the comment section down below. In about 2 to 3 weeks, I'll collect all the questions and create a separate video answering any questions regarding Crypto.com, except for price predictions. If you ask me what price I think CRO is going to go to, I'm not going to answer that in that video. But if you are interested, I do have a Patreon group linked down below. That is where I share all my buy and sell signals and even price targets of certain coins that I am looking at. We have an amazing and growing team, and right now is the best time to educate yourself with crypto, with Bitcoin, in the markets, because when the bull runs continues and resumes, you will know how to handle your emotions and take profits along the way. So when you sign up for a debit card or a credit card, it's really important to ask yourself, do I actually need that card and why do I need it? There are people that I know who have like 15 to 20 credit or debit cards, but they really only use 2 to 3 cards in their wallet. But my general principle when it comes to signing up for any credit or debit card or making any sort of investment is this going to work for me or am I going to end up working for it? So when it came to upgrading my card to an IC White, I made sure that it was going to work for me instead of being a liability. So looking into my account, when I locked up the 96,000 CRO, which was worth around $40,000, I thought I upgraded at a pretty decent time. It was not necessarily the bottom or the top. It was sort of kind of in the middle where the market was consolidating sideways. And now it's worth around $18,000. That means I'm down anywhere between 57 to 58%. Some of you can relate with me, and some of you are like, Eddie, you're so dumb. Why did you make that kind of decision? So my CRO is locked up for another 132 days, which is a little bit over 4 months. And during that lockup period, I will still continue to earn 12% annually on my 96,154 CRO. And then after the 132 days, I will no longer be earning 12% annually on my CRO. Instead, that will change to 8 until further notice. Now, people will look at my account and be like, Eddie, aren't you worried about this? Aren't you worried that the value of your investment has cut down in half? And personally for myself, I'm not too worried. The question that everybody is asking is, will CRO make new all-time high? Is the price going to continue higher? Is it going to rebound? I don't know. Nobody knows. But I think, this is just my personal opinion, the reason why I'm not too worried is because I do believe that I can exit out of this position if I wanted to at a break even or a smaller loss. Regardless, my CRO is locked up for another 132 days, so there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm not going to complain and whine about this. And it does make a small portion of my portfolio. So again, it doesn't affect me too much. I've read some comments, posts, videos of people unstaking their, card and getting rid of their card and moving their CRO from the app to the DeFi wallet so they can earn anywhere between 10 to 11%. But personally for myself, the math just doesn't work out. Maybe it might for them, but me, it doesn't. And that's what I'm going to be going over. Now, leave the link of this blog if you want to read more on the changes in detail, but I'm going to quickly go over it briefly. So the first change is the reduction of CRO card reward. So I have the IC White, and as long as I keep my CRO staked, I will earn 3% CRO back every time I spend it. It used to be 5%, now it's going to be 3%. The second is the monthly Crow card reward cap. This means that when you spend your card to get Crow back, you're going to be capped at $25 for the Ruby Steel and $50 for the Indigo Blue. Since I have the IC White, I can top it up, use it as much as I want, earn 3% CRO back without any limits. The third change is the revision of card CRO staking rewards. So earlier, I was talking about how for the next 132 days, I'll be earning, 12%. Afterwards, I'm going to be earning 8%. This is including the Obsidian. And then for those that hold Jade Green or Royal Indigo, you'll be earning 4%. If you're upgrading your card, then the $50 card issuance fee will be waived and the card benefit will still remain intact. So in other words, I'll be reimbursed for Spotify, Netflix, and a complimentary lounge key access. Since I have the IC White, I'll get 100% reimbursed for Amazon Prime and 10% back on Expedia. A couple weeks back, I did end up booking a hotel through Expedia, got 10% back, and I'll probably do that for my future bookings. And there's the complimentary airport lounge access not only for myself, but for a +1. I did end up using it recently. I went to San Francisco Airport, went into one of the lounge areas. We got a free meal. Overall, the experience was great, and it was just nice leaving there without paying for anything. So just from the benefits alone, I'm being reimbursed $650 per year, plus more when I do use Expedia to book hotels and other things. There's also the increased staking reward when you stake over $40,000 worth of CRO. So generally, most of my coins, I get an extra 2% when I do stake it and earn interest on them. So far, I've earned a total of $3,000 in rewards in the Earn program, and this number will fluctuate, go up or down depending on the market condition. So for example, if the market did a 2x, that 3,000 will change to 6,000. If it did a 3x, that number will change to 9,000. And I do get CRO back every time I do spend this card. Unfortunately, it's going to be reduced from 5% to 3%. So that does kind of suck a little bit, but regardless, I will continue to use it. I'll probably spend around like $25,000 every single year on just that card alone. So we're talking about anywhere between $750 to $1,000 per year in rewards when I do spend my IC White. And then in terms of my weekly CRO rewards for staking it, for holding onto the card, it's going to decrease from 12% to 8% after 132 days. So assuming that the CRO, price goes back to the level where I upgraded my card, I'll be earning around $3,200 a year in CRO token. So with the 3% CRO back that I receive from spending around $25,000 every single year, the 8% back annually on the CRO for locking it up, for holding onto the card, plus the benefits that I get with the card, we're talking about around $4,500 every single year that I'll be receiving from holding and using this card. Of course, that amount is going to fluctuate depending on the market conditions because I'm not getting paid out in stable coins. Instead, I'll be getting paid out in CRO. So let's say I get paid out around $4,500 worth of CRO in this next year, and then the market does a 2x. Well, that $4,500 is now worth $9,000. If the market does another 50% dip, well, that $4,500 is now worth half. So inherently, when you kind of choose this route, there are some risks. When you invest into the CRO token, you really have to think a little bit more long term and believe in what Crypto.com is doing. So personally for myself, the investment was not a bad decision. It may seem like that right now. In the past few years, Crypto.com has gone through a lot of ups and downs. And during the down moments, it seemed like a lot of people left, but they had a lot more upside. And for some crazy reason, they continue to grow. Their numbers grow. They're improving. And at the rate that they're growing in terms of users and partnership and their mission of crypto adoption, I do believe years down the road, a lot of people are going to forget all the things that have happened in the past. And especially when new people sign up like next month or next month, they're not going to know what it was like before, like many of us. They're just going to come in thinking, wow, these benefits are great. They're going to sign up and they're going to continue to grow. And so because I do believe in Crypto.com and my time horizon for this investment is at least 4 years, the card won't necessarily pay for itself, but it's going to make back a lot of the losses if Crypto.com continues to stay in this area. But most likely after 4 years, I do expect the entire market as a whole to be a little higher than it was last year. Overall, the entire market is down right now. It's not the best market conditions. So a lot of these interest-bearing account type of platforms have to cut back on their rates. It's the most reasonable thing to do. I think sometimes as investors, we get greedy about the returns, especially in the crypto space. But I do want to remind everybody to be humble as investors. There's this kind of feeling that a lot of people feel entitled to a 10 to 12% annual return on their stable coins. But I do want to remind everybody that the bank gives less than 1% every single year, and that's considered a high yield savings account. We're talking, 10% average return the past 100 years in the stock market. Inherently investing has risks, right? Everything has risks, whether it's going to school or yourself, stocks, crypto, businesses, real estate, everything has risks. And there are sometimes things that are out of our control. But as investors, it's important that not only adjust, but manage our risks. Which is why if you are serious about the crypto space and the technology and the growth of it 5, 10, 15 years from now, I do believe that you should be holding majority Bitcoin in your portfolio. I talk about this in my Patreon group, my Discord group all the time. And that is because it is the only and first truly decentralized assets class that exists today. To a certain degree, a lot of tokens are dependent on the founder or the company itself, right? So CRO is going to really be dependent on the growth of crypto.com. But Bitcoin, it doesn't need anybody. CRO makes only about 3% of my overall portfolio. So if the company were to dissolve or disappear, that's only going to be 3% of my portfolio that's going to be affected. That's not going to, make me not sleep or make me worry. I'm still going to be okay. My overall portfolio, net worth, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be okay because I'm managing my risk. A lot of people get attracted to everything going to the upside, but you also have to consider the downside as well. Now, if the CRO token was more than 50% of my overall portfolio, then yeah, that's when I would consider re-strategizing, be a little bit worried. I'd probably lose sleep and be like, what the heck is going on to crypto? Crypto's broken, it's dead. But no, it's just you haven't managed your risk properly. So overall for me, I'm not selling. I'm going to still hold, have a 4-year time horizon, and you should be okay. Of course, there's no guarantee in life. Everything I shared in this video is not guaranteed, so please do not take my word for it. Make sure you also do your own research and due diligence because I am not a financial advisor. Well, with that said, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. Make sure if you have any questions about crypto.com specifically, leave it down below. I'll be filtering through all the comments in about 3 weeks. I'll create a separate video, answer all the questions that you have. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Over. Good night, good morning. Adios.